get into this, you guys. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a little old Japanese doll named Okiku. Little old Japanese Okiku. It's a little Japanese doll. Oh, did I tell you? Her hair keeps growing. That's right. Her hair keeps growing since 19 fucking whatever, 10. It just keeps growing, needs to be cut frequently. That's all. No big deal. It's just one of the things she does. So I'm gonna need you to sit down, grab yourself a nice drink, get yourself some smoke if you want to smoke. Tonight we're gonna get Japanese creepy. If you have any Japanese friends in the room, you might want to ask them to leave at this point. It's gonna touch kind of close to home. You can just tell them, sayonara. It's gonna be a little too scary for them. Tonight's story is about Okiku. Japanese haunted little doll, Okiku. She's been around over 100 years. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Okay, Okiku. I'm not scared of you, Okiku. Keep looking at me with those cold black eyes. Okiku. Her eyes are so black. It's kind of freaky looking. She's a little scarier than the other dolls, I have to say. Let's get into this. Let's go ahead and get Chad popped out here. I think what we're gonna do is interactive, so talk to Chad as we go into our story. If you guys got some questions, I don't know if I'll be able to answer them or not, but I only do a little research on these dolls. I want to be surprised along with you guys when we do the show, so I only know a little bit of this little Japanese haunted bitch right here. She's from 1910 or something like that. All I know is she was given to a little girl. The little girl died real quick. And this doll's been starting shit ever since for the last 100 years. We're gonna stop that shit. This doll is in Japan somewhere. We have to cross the water to confront this one. It's legend. The Japanese take their horror very seriously. Let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit. The Japanese are the number one fans of horror. They have lots of horror films. They love to be scared. They're the number one country of horror films, and they just love it. They love to be scared. They have lots of legends. So Okiku is their doll. Welcome in. Let's get to know this little haunted Japanese doll, Okiku. Let's get into this doll. Let's see what she's all about. She's been causing trouble. Like they all do. We got some deaths associated with this doll here. Of course. Let's get into this. I'm a kitty here. I suggest if you got a kitty cat, help protect you. And like always, if you have any loose dolls around your house right now, I'd suggest you secure them. Weight them down. If you got some weights, weight them down. Lock them in the closet. Whatever you got to do. Don't let the dolls hear this story. You don't want to trigger the dolls. Alright. Let's start with the legend here. The legend of Okiku. In 1918, a young man purchased the doll that would later on claim the name of Okiku as her own for his 2-year-old sister, and the legend would kickstart a tourism flash. Okay, just a young man buys a doll for his little sis, you know what I'm saying? Just a little doll for his little sister. He's a fucking good big brother. You know what I'm saying? Just will get a present for his little sis. Japan during this era was still stuck in the ways of feudalism, while the world around her was embracing the progress of technology and science. Japan was holding tight to her beliefs and her rich mythology and fables. This was a land, and still is by all accounts, where demons, ghosts, vampires, and other creatures roamed free. A land where goblins and evil spirits were constantly harassing normal folks. It's true. Lots of legend in Japan, in their forests as well. Lots of legend, spooky shit in Japan. On February 4th or 3rd, you drove evil spirits away by going to shrines and through rituals and folklore practices. Setsubun events. Oh my god. Lake monsters gobbled kids up. Woods like Akigahara, northwest of Mount Fuji, drove people insane and compelled them to suicide. That's true, they have like a suicide forest. Foxes were sacred and devoted animals. Yeah, they have a whole YouTube channel on suicide forest in Japan. The real deal. Okay, let's get to it. The doll was bought in Sapporo. That's same as Sapporo beer. So Sapporo, the city in Japan, Sapporo, by a 17-year-old Ikichi Suzuki in 1918. So he's 17 years old, buying this little doll for his 2-year-old sister, Okiku. So his sister's name is Okiku. Okay. He was touring the region for a maritime exhibition, and the doll instantly drew his eyes. The perfect little thing sat on a shop window enticing him. Suzuki didn't think twice. He went in and instantly purchased the figurine for his sister, used the last money for it. At about 40 centimeters tall and dressed in a traditional kimono, the doll was exquisite. Its hair was raven black, and cut to roughly shoulder length. All right, so the hair should be shoulder length in a traditional Okapa hairstyle. Her eyes were piercing coals that seemed to swallow everything up in their gaze. The thing was mesmerizing and enchanting, something to take your breath away. So he bought this doll. He's like, all right, let's go. I'm going to take it home. Suzuki went back home and gave the doll to his little sister. The tyke fell in love with the doll immediately. It transformed into Okiko's favorite toy and, more importantly, her best friend. Of course, she's 2 years old. She gets this cute little toy from her big brother. Okiku played every day with the doll, took it everywhere, and treated the figurine like a little sister. She would talk and prattle with the thing. I don't know what prattle means, but maybe that means play. That's the first time I've heard that name. She would talk and prattle with the thing, feed it, sleep with it. She decided to call the doll Okiku, which was her name. The doll never left Okiku's sight. Then, a year later, tragedy struck. In 1919, Okiku died. Dang it, so 3 years old. Yellow fever had descended on the land and rubbed the family of the little girl. Okiku died, gasping for air, in pain and afraid. That sucks. The doll held firmly in her grasp. She was only 3 years old. The family wanted to bury the doll along with Okiku, but circumstances and governmental oversight prevented this last act of kindness on their part. The doll was never laid to rest with Okiku. Interesting. Okiku the doll was alternately located in the family's altar, a common practice in certain Japanese households to commemorate the dead. The small shrine celebrated their daughter and marked her passing into the afterlife. That's when the weirdness started to occur. One day, the family started to notice that the doll's hair was getting longer. Once a traditional shoulder-length cut with neat ends, now a mangled mess of split ends, reaching down past her waist. Whoa. It was scruffy, different colors, and felt different. Okay. Alright, that's... Because it was shoulder length, and it was pretty cut. It was supposed to be neat, like a neat, traditional Japanese cut all the way around, so all the ends are going to be very exact all the way around when they first got it. And that's cut at the shoulder length, right there at the shoulder, and now it's down past her waist. That's a lot of extra hair coming out of the doll. At night, they started to dream of Okiku, and sometimes the doll would appear by their side come morning. The chilling events intensified and grew into full-blown acts of spiritual infestation. Lights flicking on and off, bangings in the house, noises, and strange voices. The closer the year got to certain key dates, Okiku's birthday and the day of her death. Okay. So the things got weirder the closer to her birthday and the day of death. Okay, but that's a lot of weird stuff happening. Lights, got banging in the house. This is a quiet Japanese house. Banging in the house, noises, voices, so at this point they're like, yeah, let's keep the doll here still. All right, yeah, I don't think that's a good decision. I would have been concerned up here when the hair started growing longer. At that point, I would have been like, you know what, we might need to burn it. But no, let's go on. Let's see how far they take it. Over time, they were certain, and town shamans, spiritual leaders concurred, that their daughter's soul was in fact trapped within the doll. In 1938, the family relocated to a different district. They had now become accustomed to Okiku and had even grown fond of their daughter's restless spirit. To them, it was a magical and a unique opportunity to interact with the dead. Not desiring to take Okiku with them, fearing that what fueled her magic was the proximity to their daughter's grave, the family approached a local temple and asked them to take care of the doll. So 1938, it's been 18 years or 20 years since they got the doll. They got the doll in 1918. It's been 20 years now. They're going to leave the doll near the grave. The temple by now had heard countless stories of the amazing doll, the haunted doll whose hair grew every year. They were fascinated, skipping like schoolgirls with the prospect. The priest gleefully accepted the charge and started taking care of Okiku. Over time, they managed to confirm the veracity of some of the claims, particularly that the hair does indeed grow. Wow. The priests have sent out cut samples of the hair for analysis. Examination proved the hair was that of a human child. So that's interesting. So I wonder if when they first made this doll that they put human hair in it. You know, I mean the hair's growing, but maybe they put human hair in it to begin with. But now, like now it's growing. But that's very interesting. The dolls back in that day, they weren't plastic and what, the hair was usually real hair, human hair or horse hair or whatnot. So that's very interesting. Regularly the hair gets a trim and the doll stays happy and content. Yeah, because before the doll had said that it wants them to cut the hair regularly. As the years passed on, the doll's fame grew and her powers further developed. She's bolder now, invading the dreams of the priest and those that come to visit her. Okay. She's stronger, her hair growing faster and wilder, and she's even spookier. The last event driving tourists mad is the claim that the mouth of Okiku is slowly opening, and that if you dare to peer inside, you may be able to glimpse something like baby teeth sprouting like weeds from porcelain gums. What? Okay, so she's in a private shrine in a wooden box in the Menenji Temple in the town of Iwamizawa, Hokkaido, Japan. Okay, so she's in Japan. I guess they take care of her and her hair just keeps growing. Let's find out more about her here. Let me refill my beer. Let's check it out. This is pretty spooky, dude. As far as dolls go, like I don't like that. If I saw that at the end of the hallway, standing there, that would creep me out, especially with the black eyes. Like, as far as dolls looks go, like this should be the creepiest one so far. Pretty creepy. She's pretty creepy. I've seen a couple Japanese horror films that were really good. They were honestly scary. I don't really get scared anymore, but I can't remember the name, but there's one Japanese horror movie that is just freaky. Freaky. Alright, let's get into this. Let's see what we got. tonight about Okiku, the legend haunted doll from Japan. Okiku. She was bought in 1918. They didn't say whether she was new or not. It just said the guy bought it for his sister. So we know she was bought in 1918. That's it. Kitty cat chilling here. Kitty cat right here, just hanging out with me, protecting me. Ooh, it's hot tonight, guys. All right. All right. Explains a little bit of Okiku here. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay, the Okiku doll, a type of Ichimatsu doll, which is a type of traditionally dress-up dolls in Japan, often clad in nice kimonos with dark glass eyes. Yeah, the classic Japanese doll. The chubby cheek dolls are cute as they are creepy, and perhaps the creepiest that has been named Okiku lives now in a monastery. And she reminds me of the new movie that's out too, Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. Remember the dolls in there that were the robots? That's what she reminds me of. So that's the classic doll, porcelain face, black eyes. So it's Japanese legend. Japanese legend a little bit there. What you doing, baby? Got my kitty cat right here. Read the full story, okay. The Ghost of Okiku. At first glance, she looks just like an old doll, weathered by time, with frayed hair and old clothes, like so many dolls forgotten by their children. But there's legend surrounding this particular doll, and the legend keeps growing, apparently just like the doll's hair. There is some variations of this legend, as often there is when they happened a long time ago. The most told version of it, though, starts in Hokkaido, north of Japan, 1918, at the Taishi Expo in August. Okay. Bustling with life. Lots of stuff there for sale, including dolls. So the Taishi Expo in 1918 in Hokkaido, Japan. A teenager named Ikichi Suzuki. Now, see, that's a different first name for this guy. He had a different first name in the other article. He bought a doll for his younger sister, right? Remember, the shop in the shopping street of Tanuki-koji. Oh my God, in the city. He was visiting Sapporo for a marine exhibition, and the doll almost called for him to be bought for his dearest little sister. So he had an insatiable desire. He had to buy the doll. The doll's like, buy me. And then it said the 2-year-old sister grew fond of the doll, was a best friend for a year, but then she died after a year. She died of yellow fever. Here's the doll at the family altar right here. So the family mourned the loss of the daughter and placed the doll on the family altar instead, a common practice in some Japanese households to remember and honor the dead. They prayed every day at the altar and started to notice strange things about the doll. According to them, they found that the hair of the doll was growing just like human hair. And the short haircut grew longer. Okay, yeah, we know about that. Here's the doll right here. That's the actual altar right here. So the parents actually placed this in the altar. They wanted the spirit to come out more and more. So it's encouraging it. So that's what they have it all right here, all lit up to encourage, which they believe is the soul of their daughter coming out. What's up, Nuke? They kept the doll on their family altar until 1938. So for 20 years. So for 20 years they had this on the altar. The little girl had it for a year. She died. Then they had it on the altar for about 19 years. And then they decided to move from the city, but they believed that the power and the daughter's spirit coming through was related to being close to the grave. So they wanted to keep the doll right there near the daughter's grave and all that at the altar, so that the doll would still do stuff, but they were going to move away. So they said, let's keep it here, let's do a museum. And then they decided to offer the doll to the temple located in Iwamizawa. The monks promised to take care for the doll and pay it respect, and received it at the family altar. The Okiku doll was given a special wooden box like the home altar and placed at the altar with the monks looking after and taking care of her every need. The monks at the temple too noticed that the hair of the doll kept growing. When it was about 25 centimeters, they decided to cut it for the first time, and the doll's hair was cut many more times over the years as the hair just continued to grow. That's crazy. Apparently some of the monks at the temple had a dream that the doll wished for the hair to be trimmed regularly. And after the war, when many Japanese were deported from Sakhalin, the brother who bought the doll came back and saw for himself how the doll had changed over the years. Damn, when he saw what the doll had become, he asked that the doll had to stay at the temple permanently. So they left. They moved somewhere else. He came back and saw how the doll had changed. And he said, okay, let's have her stay here permanently. So mainly this, it doesn't look like much spooking going on, but the other articles said that there was some spooking going on at the temple. A little bit of noises and whatnot, but looks like she pretty much chills out at the temple. She's not doing a lot of spooky shit, except for her hair growing, which, you can't blame a girl for growing her hair, that's alright. So she's kind of chilling out at the temple. These guys are obviously appeasing the doll there. This is the most famous in the country of Japan. And they tested the hair, and they said the hair is that of a human child, but we believe that the doll had human hair in it, because back in 1918 and whatnot, and the dolls were supposed to have, they had human hair put on them. So but for the hair to keep growing, that's going to be pretty bizarre. Visiting the doll, you can visit the doll to see that the doll's hair is reaching its knee, but you're not allowed to photograph. It says the doll does not like to be photographed. The growing, and it also is saying that it's growing human teeth. Sometimes the mouth, sometimes the mouth opens up of this doll, and then you can see teeth growing inside, which is supposed to be porcelain inside the mouth. So that's a little bit strange. Not, I'd have to be there. I'd have to be there to be spooked out by that, but I would definitely visit this doll here. Okiku. Little black eyes doll. Let's see. Here she is right here. I like this shot right here. That shot's freaky right there. I love this shot right here. She's the most famous doll in Japan. So we have multiple witnesses of shit going on from this doll. And you kind of notice a trend that when we notice these dolls, that they tend to do the same things throughout their lifetime. She's not doing too much at this temple. She's not doing too much, but at the house she was banging around, voices were going on. So it looks like at the temple there's just a little bit of sounds and whatnot going on. So she's mellowed out. But what I've noticed is that these dolls will do the same behavior, and you'll have the same statements by people over time. It could be decades. Remember, we just studied Robert the Doll, and he did the same shit over decades. He did the same shit over decades, literally like 100 years, like doing the same shit. So looks like she's mellowed out, but her hair just keeps growing, and they keep cutting it. Look how ratty it is. She's been around since 1980. She's 104 years old. Let's check out. So the fear of dolls is pediophobia. The fear of dolls. Let's see what more information we can get. We've got a bunch of different articles. You know, the information changes depending on the articles and whatnot. So we just go through a bunch. Yep, it was a gift for his 2-year-old sister, Okiku. The doll was named after his sister, Okiku. It had a bob cut too. So the hair is only supposed to be a bob cut. And I don't know if they had... Here she is right here. Here she is on the altar. Her altar. And then there's the original picture right there too. Oh no, these are different outfits. This is the real one right here. In the altar. So this is a similar one. But her hair's long. It's supposed to be a bob cut. I wish they could give us a picture of the original hair. It should be bob cut like this. It should be bob cut. Not all long. Look how the hair's all long and shaggy and split ends. I don't think they have any. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be bob cut like that. I'd be interested to see if there's any original pictures of this doll with the hair shorter like they're claiming it should be. Because that sure is... Here we go. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, that hair is super long. Look, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's go on. I'm not too worried about this doll because it looks like it's just going to be voices. was visiting Sapporo for a Marine expedition, probably for World War One. Something going on in World War One. Traditional cropped hair. They had this doll at the altar for 20 years. Okay, at night, this is the parents now. Let's see here. So the brother, I guess they're still living at the family's house. So the brother, he lost, he's 17, so he's 18 years old. He just lost his 3-year-old sister. Now they have this doll. They're at the family house now. They're like, okay, let's just pray. So they're like, well, they're going into it. They're like, yeah, let's give an altar to it. You know, our child died. Let's really bring it out. So I said at night they dreamt about Okiku, and when in the morning they would find the doll sitting by their side without having put her there. Okay, so the family's obviously broken up, and in their culture they believe that the spirits or whatnot could go into different objects or whatnot, you know. So the family just lost the 3-year-old girl. The family's broken up. The 18-year-old brother's broken up. Just lost his little sister. They put this fucking thing on the altar and they're bringing it out, and then now they got dude, I mean, basically, well, okay, forget the hair growing out. They said they would dream about Okiku, right? I guess they would dream about Okiku. They would dream about the little girl, but when they woke in the morning, they would find the doll. So they're not dreaming about the doll. They're dreaming about the girl, the daughter that they just lost, and for the brother losing his little sister, and now they find the doll sitting by their side, right? The doll's on the altar. When they wake up and they find the doll sitting by their side. And then they said the strange occurrences get more intense. Light flickering, and you got banging in the house, right? You got a quiet Japanese house, it's banging in the house. Strange voices and noises. So this led them to believe that the soul of their daughter was not at peace and had entered the doll. They had shamans come to the house and meet the doll and confirm it, and believe that they had to appease the spirit through the doll. They kept... So this was... I mean, they still didn't get rid of it, though. I mean, fuck. The little girl died in 1919, and they're having this doll now. As soon as they have this doll now, shit starts happening. But they keep the doll here for fucking 20 years, right? They put up with this shit for 20 years. Look at this, 1938 now. So the family decides to move away. They want to remain on the island, so they're on an island. They offered the doll to the temple. They gave them to the monks. Take the doll, the temple. They put up with this doll for 20 years of noises and voices and banging in the house. And then, like, sometimes when you wake up in the morning or whenever, you know, in the middle of the night, the doll's just sitting there on your bed, looking at you. You're like, oh, okay. You're like, at that point, you're like, no. You're like, okay, let's, okay, chat, just give me your idea on this. So chat, you're a roommate at this house, and you know, you go to sleep and whatnot, and then you wake up on the doll sitting on your bed. Chat, what do you do? What do you do when Okiku is sitting on your bed? What do you do when you wake up? And this face is looking at you. And you know, everyone else is asleep. All their doors are shut. All their doors are shut. All their doors are shut. You know, Okiku was in the living room on her little altar. Everyone's asleep. Their doors are locked. You know, because you're the last one up. You're watching some YouTube. You went to sleep. You made sure Okiku was on her little altar. Right? But you wake up. You feel something at your leg. You swear to God you felt something at your foot and your leg that you woke up. Right? It's Okiku. It's Okiku. This is what you see when you wake up. She's like, hey. Right? She's like, hey, is your foot okay? Is your foot okay? Hey. Are you okay? My name's Okiku. Right? She's concerned. Is your foot okay? Are you okay? Right? What do, chat? She's sitting at your bed, chat. Your door was locked. Chat, you know you're the only one with the key to your door. It's a deadbolt. It's not even like a normal lock to get in. You locked that motherfucker when you went to sleep because you know you're a roommate inside the house with Okiku, right? That's why the room was cheap. That's why you're paying half price in Japan for a room or as a roommate, as a tourist, because you gotta live with motherfucking Okiku in the living room on the altar, sitting there looking at you. You're like, okay, sure, half price, no problem. Okay, I'll fucking live with Okiku. Fucking no big deal. I'm not scared. Psh, bitch. Now what? Now you wake up to this face right here. Right at your feet. Okiku. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I fucking disturb your foot when I fucking climbed onto the bed? Okiku. Look at that fucking eye looking at you and shit. Look at that eye. That's an Okiku eye. What are you gonna do when your deadbolt doesn't stop Okiku coming into your fucking room at night? You just happen to wake up. She's at your foot of your bed. She's not saying nothing. Why would she? She's a doll. She's inanimate. She's just sitting there looking at you with those cold black eyes. I don't know what you're gonna do, chat. But these people choose to let's keep Okiku. Let's keep them. Let's keep her there for fucking 20 years. Okay. So now the doll's at the temple. They're like, we gotta move because they gotta move. Now it's at the temple. The monks are saying they had a dream that the doll keeps telling them to trim the hair. All right, so they got multiple monks at the temple, and they're like, hey. The doll's like, hey, trim my hair. That's not so bad. That's not like, hey, I'm gonna stab you in the middle of the night. It's just a haunted doll that's telling you, hey, could you please cut my hair on time, maybe once a month? And you're like, yeah, that's not. As a temple person there, I would be like, yeah, You're not gonna be like waking up on my fucking foot of my bed right at night. And she's like, no. That was at my old place. That was at my old, because I was cramped. They didn't understand my needs at that old place, right? She's at the temple now. They're serving her needs. The monks are like, after 20 years at the house, right? The monks know what she needs, right? She's like, hey, just give me a little trim every month. Sure, I'm a doll and my hair shouldn't grow, but it grows so fast. And the monks are like, yeah, that's crazy that your hair grows. That's all you need, right? I mean, that's all you need. And she's like, yeah, just cut my hair. That, as far as haunted dolls go, I feel like that's not asking for much, you know? You're not gonna be waking up on the foot of my bed in the middle of the night. You're just gonna chill in your little wooden altar box and just trim your hair every once a month and we're good. Okay, dude. I swear to God, this is my favorite haunted doll so far. Oh, we can pull up on this doll. Japan. She's in Japan. She's the most haunted doll of Japan. The monks, they sent out the hair, and it shows that it's a human toddler hair, a little kid's hair, but they can't explain why it's growing. Over time, it just keeps growing, and all they need to do is just cut that hair. You can visit the Manenji temple to see the doll whose hair is reaching its knee. It's just, dude, the hair's growing so crazy. I bet tourists, they should just be like, hey, $10 and you can cut off some of the hair because it's growing so fast. You're not allowed to photograph it. Bullshit. Bullshit. You know we're gonna live stream it. Fuck no. You know we're gonna live stream when we get there. Are you kidding me? Not gonna photograph? Psh. Fuck no. I'll still ask permission now because I'm all spooked out. As you know, we talked about Robert the Doll last week. Robert the Doll last week, we got thousands of people writing in, regretting that they didn't ask permission to take photographs of Robert the Doll, so I'm going to be asking permission. But we will go see Okiku, and we will photograph, and we will IRL Okiku. She's sitting right, she's sitting right here in the box. Here she is. There she is. It's a little altar. She's at the temple. She's at a temple. We can go to it. If we're in Japan, we can go to the temple. She's sitting in that temple. She needs her hair cut. I'm really not too worried about this one. I'm gonna be like, can I go IRL live on YouTube? And also I will trim your hair. I brought scissors. I'm gonna bring some nice scissors. I'm like, I'll give you a little fucking trim on the bangs real quick. Let me do some IRL from a channel. And then I will leave you guys alone with her. Look, here she is. Look, her hair's grown. So that's what it was before, and now it's grown way down. Okay, yeah, so it's... the hair keeps growing. Yeah, that's... if she showed up at the foot of my bed, I'd be kind of pissed. I'd be like, Okiku, you told me you fucking wouldn't be at the foot of my bed in the middle of the night. You fucking promised me. I would be so pissed. I'm like, you told me, just cut your fucking hair and you won't show up at the foot of my bed, wandering around my fucking toes at night while I'm waking up and shit, and I feel something at my feet, and it's like, you're just sitting there, and I know you're supposed to be in your box, and you're fucking whittling around at my feet on my bed. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that in the doll. Let's see what they say about this. So yeah, pediophobia, the fear of dolls. Pop culture has done a great job turning the age-old children's toy into a potential vessel of evil. Thank you, Chucky and Annabelle. Yeah, we went over Annabelle. She was the first. This is the third edition, you guys. So first we did Annabelle, then we did Robert the Doll, and now we're doing Okiku. And while we rationally recognize that dolls aren't coming to life, yeah, some of them do. It's completely understandable that we simultaneously feel unease by the stare of their cold, lifeless black eyes. Of course they're cold and lifeless. They're looking at you from the other side of the room. They're literally mocking you. They're sitting there in the corner just watching you, you know what I mean, with those fucking cold black eyes. Look at it. Are you kidding me, dude? Look at it. Just looking at you, dude, from the fucking black eyes. You ain't gonna fuck with her, dude. How you gonna fuck Okiku? Dude, she's literally in a locked box at night. And then she shows up at the foot of your bed, dude. What you gonna do? There's no college course that's gonna fucking help deal with Okiku. Look at those black eyes. There's no martial arts that's gonna be good enough. There's no college course that's you're not gonna be like a super psychologist enough that can be gonna deal with Okiku when she shows up at your feet at fucking foot of your bed at night. How you gonna fucking deal with this? You could be a race car driver. You could fucking work for the government. Hell, I don't care if you're a contract killer for the CIA. Okiku. Her fucking cold black eyes showing up at your feet at night. And you know the door was locked. You got a deadbolt. You got a deadbolt on your door. Somehow it's unlocked. And motherfucking Okiku's sitting there at your foot of your fucking bed. There she is. What you gonna do when she comes for you? Right? You can't call. Your cell phone's cut. Phone line's cut. She's sitting there right there at your feet. All of a sudden you can't move your legs. It's like 1,000,000 pounds. She's sitting there, you're like, I should be able to move my legs right now. You can't. You can't. You're frozen by fear. You're like, I should be able to move my legs. I just want to move my legs. No. She's sitting on your feet and your legs. It's like 1,000 pounds. It's like 1,000 pounds on your leg. Cold black eyes looking at you. It's cold black eyes. It just keeps getting closer. I'm like, no. Okay, no. No. Stop looking into the cold black eyes. Okay, no. No. Don't think you're gonna be staring down Okiku. She's still here. Allegedly, her cropped hair grew nearly 10 inches during the beginning of her stay at the temple and continues to require trimming and is growing out of control. A user claims the temple refuses to allow the doll to be disassembled and analyzed. However, I couldn't locate an additional source to verify this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the temple... There's the temple right there. Here it is right here. There's the temple right there. That she's inside there, dude. That's gotta be kind of freaky. You're like, yeah, we got a temple, you know, but then we got this doll in there. So I don't know, it's like Buddhist or what type of temple, but it's kind of weird that you're like, because most temples you don't have like a, you know, like a fucking haunted doll in there, right? You're like a temple, you got your temple shrine and whatnot, and your stuff, but you're like, no, let's have a haunted doll there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on at that fucking temple to where you're like, yeah, let's have this haunted doll in there too. Fucking that likes to talk and do shit at night. Not so much as when she lived at the house. You know what I mean? Like I said, you trim the hair, she's cool. That's all she needs. Keep her clothes good. Get a little trim on the hair. Not a lot of problems. Like I said, I think I could almost roommate with this doll. If the rent was cheap, and we're talking some rent reductions, and we're talking, we could get some tickets coming in to help pay the rent. Come visit Okiku and DJ Darren. I got my own room. Okiku's got her room. She pays her rent through tourists coming in. I pay my rent through karaoke at night in Japan. All I need to do is cut her hair at night, every week or so. It grows really fast, so it's probably every week I just cut. So I just cut that hair, Sometimes strange voices in the night, no problem. Dude, for low rent, I'm cool with that. You notice she doesn't do anything bad, right? She's not, I may wake up to her at the foot of my feet. I'll be like, all right, Okiku. I'll be like, all right, Okiku, you got me. Because I'll be like, I'll asleep at night, and then 3 a.m. I wake up. Okiku, my haunted doll roommate, she's at the foot of my feet, literally on my foot. I'm like, Okiku, you scared me, I almost died. Please, go back to your room. You got me, Okiku. But it's like that cheap rent, you know what I mean? Okiku, she's bringing in most of the rent because she's got lots of tourists coming in, Okiku, lots of people are coming to see her, you know what I'm saying? So she's paying most of the rent. It's cool. Like once a month, just be magically appear at my foot of my bed, on top of my foot and shit, freaking me out. That's okay. I do have a deadbolt on my door, but it's okay. It's unexplained that you show up there. That's fine, as long as we keep that rent cheap, and our rent agreement is consistent. Then we're good. She does not sound like a bad roommate, you guys. I've told you. All I need is some scissors, and look, I've had worse roommates. So, Okiku, when I come to Japan, hit me up. If we're looking for a place to stay outside that temple, we'll chill. We'll get like a 3-bedroom. It looks like the little girl, Okiku, died with the doll in her arms. Of course she did. She's only 3 years old. How did the family wanted to bury the doll with the girl, but government oversight? I mean, how? Got 1919, so government oversight is preventing this. What's like the government? What the fuck is the government? Why are they standing at the fucking gravesite or some shit? How is the government preventing that? Are they like government people standing there where like, yeah, and truly departed, and they're like putting the body in the ground? The government's like, don't put the doll in there. You know what I mean? How did the government prevent the family from putting the doll in the grave as they buried her and they laid her to rest in the ground? That doesn't make sense. Some weird. They said circumstances and governmental oversight. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling bullshit on that. The family wanted to bury the doll, so somehow the doll made it not happen. Because that's a bunch of bullshit. You see what it says? Circumstances and governmental oversight. Bullshit. The family wanted to bury the doll. Of course they did. The girl died with the doll in her arms. They want to bury the doll. Why did the doll go in the fucking casket with her? And so instead, instead the doll's put in the family's altar. They create the shrine to celebrate the daughter, and then for the next 20 years, we got all sorts of fucking crazy shit, right? It says that's when the weirdness started to occur. The hair's getting longer. It's a bunch of split ends and stuff, reaching to the scruffy, different colors, and it felt different. They have dreams of the doll. And then we got lights going on and off, bangings, noises, voices. And then they brought in like shamans and spiritual leaders. So after 1919, so for 20 years, up to 1938, the doll's doing all sorts of crazy shit. They don't do nothing about it. So they live with this doll doing crazy 20 years. Yeah, okay. The first shit that happened, I would confront the shit out of that doll. I wouldn't. No, I don't. Nah. And if the doll's moving around, and you got banging going on, and you got noises in a quiet Japanese house, and voices, nah, I'm gonna get to the bottom. I'm not gonna wait around 20 years wondering about that. So it doesn't say why they wanted to relocate, but they did not want to take the doll. Baby teeth, and yeah, some say you may be able to glimpse the baby teeth sprouting like weeds from the porcelain gums. Yeah, that's crazy. So that's all we got on Okiku. And she's kind of a legend. I mean, she's a Japanese legend. She's the most famous. She's in the top 10 most famous haunted dolls. And she's that classic, that classic bobbed. Lots of people have my mom has these dolls. A lot of people have these dolls, the classic bobbed hair Japanese dolls with the kimono. They're very popular in the war, World War One and Two. Very Very interesting. So this is her right here. Her hair is not supposed to be long. Not too bad. So she's kind of spooky, but not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Based on her behavior, I'd be okay. I'd be okay overnight in a room at night, and we'll see. When I'm in Japan, I will visit her. That's kind of, we'll see when I'm in Japan, but I will definitely, anywhere I go, I want to visit any dolls and the spooky and haunted shit and haunted dolls. Okiku. Yeah, she would be the spook. So far, the dolls and all the other dolls that I've seen, if I saw her pop out in a dark alley, we may do some funny pranks along with that too as well. But we may like pop out little haunted dolls and shit in the alley on people and see how they handle it at night. But that would, I think I may run. I may run. There's a bunch of dolls here. The Annabelle right here. That's the real Annabelle in the case. We talked about her the first episode. And there's from the movie Annabelle. We just did Okiku. And we got Lily. We might do Lily next week. She's scary. She's got black eyes. She's got black eyes. She's scary. White face, black eyes. Robert the doll, we did him last week. He's almost 4 feet tall with a little doggy. He's got this little doggy right here. Ruby. I don't know much about Ruby yet. Letta. I know a little bit about Letta. Letta's name is from Letta Me Out, because apparently the doll said Letta Me Out. So the doll's name is Letta. No bullshit. We'll be doing that. An Island of Dolls? What is this? Oh, that's freaky. Island of Dolls. All these dolls. Oh, all these dolls in the trees and shit. Oh, I've heard about that. Oh man. Island of Dolls, you guys. Twilight Zone talking Tina? Huh. Maybe that's an unknown one. No Discord, just the one tonight. One doll at a time. But we'll see what we can get into. $60 haunted dolls. Nice. So if you're in Japan, you can go visit Okiku. So yeah, we done 3 different dolls now. Next week we have to figure out what we're gonna do, but there's probably about 10 different dolls, spooky dolls to do, and then we're gonna move on to different scary, fucking scary real shit, like missing people, missing 411, which is basically missing people in national forests and whatnot, campgrounds, whatnot. You know, where you're chilling with your family and then someone just goes missing. I still haven't seen. I want to see an original picture of Okiku when her hair is supposed to be short, but I guess that would be in 1919 or 1920. So maybe no picture of that, you know, because her hair started growing in 1919 after the girl died. So maybe no picture of that, and only of the temple recently. But this doll's been around forever. Yeah, George, we're going to be getting into Missing 411, which is pretty spooky in itself because they have basically, when you look at the statistics of people missing, there are, what do you call it? I can't remember the name, but areas, you know, areas of like where a lot of people are missing from that area, like little pods or I can't fucking remember the name, but basically little congested parts where there's a lot of people missing from this area, a lot of people missing from this little area. So it's very interesting, but we're going to get into that. That's really spooky. And I'm going to be in the RV too as well. We're going to get out there. We're going to get out there in some of the national forests and whatnot. We're going to go deep into some shit with an RV. Try and see if we can get the Sasquatch and see some shit. But we're going to get out there. Yeah, eventually I think we'll be out in some forests, national forests and campgrounds and whatnot, and I can go into areas and do a little fucking Bigfoot hunting or whatnot. I have to be real safe though. I'm gonna be armed to kill. I'll be armed to kill. Cause I'll have my kitty cats in my RV, so I won't be go far, but I'll go into the national forest and maybe we start doing like spooky stories from the fucking national forest. But there's something to the Bigfoot stories, and there's some shit going on in the forest out there. Probably some special ops as well, training. I wouldn't doubt it. Some of the chicanery in some of that parks is like special ops training, and different like, you know, army special ops training. Got a lot of chicanery going on around the world. Randy, we're looking at Okiku. We're just wrapping up the fucking spooky story night of Okiku. Let me give you a fucking shot of Okiku. This is Okiku. She is the most haunted doll in Japan. She's the top 10 haunted doll out there. Her hair likes to grow, keep growing. Sometimes she fucking moves around. She makes noises. She bangs on shit. So the other dolls we got on point. So if I go to East Coast, we're gonna see the other dolls. So we got in Key West, Florida, we have Robert the Doll to visit. So I'll hit that. And then in Connecticut, we have Annabelle. The museum closed that has Annabelle, but they said they're gonna reopen in the fall. So if I go out to the East Coast, out there, then they're gonna have the museum reopen, and we will get to visit Annabelle the doll for the first time in a couple of years, I guess. So that'll be fucking legend. That'll be legend. Randy, look, this is Okiku. She's famous in Japan. She's 104 years old. For 20 years, she was banging around shit. She was moving around. Sometimes she likes to wake up at the foot of your bed. You know, you just wake up and she's sitting there at the foot of your bed by your feet, looking at you with the cold black eyes like this. You know, like, you're like, I swear to God, you're like, she was in the altar. You know, I remember, we never move her. So she shouldn't be at the foot of my bed. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be waking up and seeing this cold black eye in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. But you do. You do. And that's what happened. So she behaves herself right now at the temple she's at, because all that she requests is that you trim her hair, and she behaves. So she's not doing crazy shit anymore as long as you cut her hair. Cause did I tell you? Her hair just keeps growing and growing. Growing and growing forever. So, like I told Chad, she's a low maintenance doll. Just trim that hair. And you know, it's a good, you know, roommate potential right there. I've had a lot worse roommates. Randy, let me tell you, we're not doing any fantasy stories here either. This doll is well known to Japan since 1919. So this doll has been known in Japan and been doing fucked up crazy shit since 1919. So for 120, 3 years, Okiku's been, Okiku knows what's up. All these doll stories are all true stories. Lots of different shit happens. Some dolls are worse than others. I'm telling you, she's the scariest looking, but in my honest opinion, as a roommate, she'd be the best roommate. As far as I'm just saying. Trim her hair once a month, she's cool. The other guy is doing fucked up shit. Okiku, I'm not gonna hate on you like these other people do. Because if you do, you're waking up with this face and these black eyes looking at you As you wake up at 3 a.m. with this little doll looking at you in the middle of the night, telling you, why didn't you trim my hair? That's all she wants? It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Scary, yeah. Yeah. I don't want nobody at my feet at night when I know that my room is dead bolted and I wake up to fucking Okiku. That's not gonna happen for me because I observe what women want. She clearly said, please cut my hair on the regular and I'm cool. So you can go to the temple and go visit her right now if you want. She's there right now for you to go visit. She's not scared. She's been around 103 years. She is not going anywhere. She's been around. They say don't photograph her, but you know we have to when we get there. I will wear a hidden camera if I have to, and we'll go in and we'll see Okiku. Okiku's a legend. Everybody in Japan knows about Okiku. This is kind of news to me. This kind of makes, you know, this makes these dolls a little creepy now. A little bit creepy. I'm gonna have to check the hair length on any of the dolls I see from now on. This is not right. This is not right. Like I said earlier, she reminds me of the robots in Ghost in the Shell movie with Scarlett Johansson. That's an Okiku style. With the glass, with the porcelain face. Yeah, I don't see any pictures with her hair short. She's still there. Still there at the temple, man. Still there at the temple. I can't believe they still have her there. That's crazy. We already saw this. Alright, you guys, we're gonna wrap up then. We've seen everything we need to see about Okiku. She's been around. We don't know if she was new or used, but she was bought at the Marine Market 1918. Bought for a 2-year-old little girl that died the next year of yellow fever, 1 year. And then this doll did all sorts of crazy shit for the next 19, 20 years. Then it went to the temple. They took care of it, and then it mellowed out. Basically, the hair just grew, and they cut the hair. And the doll pretty much simmered down mostly. Except that it went into the dreams of the monks. The monks said that the doll was in their dreams. And that sometimes made noises a little bit, but no big deal. Not a big threat. Decent roommate. If you've had terrible roommates, then you know that's that's a decent roommate. You know what I'm saying? So, and she's making money. People are coming to the temples. She's still there today. June 2022. You can go visit her. Hokkaido, Japan. She's sitting there waiting for you. They say no photographs, but I mean, who's gonna stop you from taking a photograph? You could have a hidden camera. She needs to be confronted. Look at her attitude. Her hair is all frazzled. She's basically chaos. She wants to fight. You can see in her eyes. She's unkept. She's an unkept troublemaker. She's dangerous. If you're in Japan, I need you to confront this demon. With her cold black eyes. They're cold and black. Look at them. Cold black eyes. If you're in Japan, dude, you know what to do.